Oh, she was just a joy. Smiling all the time. It's like she's trying to make you laugh. Always had this just giant grin with these big dimples on her face. After the first round of seizures, the first time we were in the ER, they just sent us home. 1 month later, it all ramped up again. So she was labeled at that point as being epileptic.
Her eyes are deviated up and to the right. Her head's turning up and to the right. Her right arm is jerking.
Yeah, sometimes it would have been easy if she had been born already having seizures and never had developed for those 3 years that we saw how happy and joyful she was.
She's getting her color back.
She's pretty much been on every anticonvulsant on the market in horrendous combinations and at terrible levels. She's been so toxic on meds that she couldn't even crawl across the room. She could barely keep her head up. The hardest part for me is watching her suffer. Just, she's relatively unaware. She doesn't know life any differently, but just to know that she pays a high price. We've tried every option available. There are no other medical options for her.
Is she doing okay, Mama?
I think so. I think she's trying to decide whether to wake up or go back to sleep again.
Happy birthday, sweetheart.
We have some friends who have legal dispensary and growing cards in legal states who were able to obtain for us some high CBD medical marijuana for her. All of these medications have side effects associated with them. And the CBD medical marijuana, none of that.
Marijuana itself, in some instances, it has been suggested that could actually exacerbate seizures. But a component of marijuana called cannabinoids have shown some promise. THC in cannabis or marijuana is the component that tends to make you high. That part of the extract is not used. You're looking at another component that actually may be more beneficial without having that side effect. And with that component, like any other medication, once it's studied, it is likely that may have an effect and either potentiate other medications or reduce seizures. And that's the hope. Because we're always looking for that extra edge to get another agent to try and improve seizures.
If you're riding on your horse, clap your hands. Your turn. If you're riding on your horse, pet your horse. If you're riding on your horse, pet your horse. If you're riding on your horse, if you're riding on your horse, if you're riding on your horse, pet your horse.
When we first talked about even the possibility of getting some medical marijuana, we talked about the fact that we would be breaking the law. And, it very quickly reminded me, the spirit of Christianity is mercy and compassion, not to live by the rules, but to do what is right and good and necessary for people who are in need.
We're going to put the flour in. Can you help put it in?
They take the plants and they distill them down. It actually creates kind of a tar-like substance. And then they mix that with a glycerin base or, other kinds of beneficial oils. And it's given like liquid medication. We run it, for a couple months, and then there were some supply issues. Her seizures benefited in 2 ways. We had fewer in number, and they were shorter in duration. And then cognitively, she was there wasn't any euphoria, but she was just more engaged. We got
a little peek at what there is in there. Yeah, Father, thank you for today. Thank you for our family and for all that we have. We just ask your blessing on this meal. It's in Jesus' name, amen.
There are some laws that are higher than regulatory laws, and not that I am in any way advocating, going out and doing what you want to do just because you think it's okay and right, but Mercy dictates that for these very vulnerable kids and patients that, you know, we have some leeway here. Can we get 3 words? Want more, please?